bike packing, you're backpacking, you want to be comfortable when you get down at the end of the night, you're working your camping gear and you're getting everything set. And for years, when I was a backpacker, I would just find a log or sit on the ground, put a little cloth down, maybe put a jacket down. As I get older, sitting on the ground doesn't seem as comfortable as it did before. So what do we have? We have these stools and chairs that are being sold. They break down. They have a lot of different purposes. For the longest time, I used to have this for light day camping or picnics. It is a stool. It just folds up really tight like this, but it's 19-20 inches. It's not super heavy, but it's also not super light. And while it is comfortable enough, it's a big pain, because when you're on your motorcycle or you're backpacking, you always hear these people talking about weight, but I don't worry about weight as much as I do size, where things sit in my bag and how comfortable they are and how much I can pack into places. I would much rather have 10 or 20 pounds in a very compact space that works along my lumbar, or fits close to the motorcycle so that I'm not hitting things or losing balance, than I would if I were worried about how light it is. So one of the things I learned when I was a combat camera photojournalist in the Navy was, you want to make sure you got your gear in the right places so that you could have your body handle that gear. So this is a problem for me, because it's not that it's a huge thing, but it doesn't pack easy into your backpack, and it definitely doesn't pack easy onto the bike. And so I started looking for other alternatives. Now, this is a cheap little $29, $30 iClimb that I got on Amazon. It's about 14 inches long, about 5 inches deep. It comes in this nice little bag. You can stick it in here with the thing. Inside, it has those feet you can put on the bottom of it that actually work for the sand and the mud. For 30 bucks, this, to me, I would choose this over the big Agnes chairs or the Hinox chairs, because they're $100, $150. And while I save ounces, the sizes aren't all that much different. Especially on motorcycle camping, I can't justify that kind of money. But the size is what I'm worried about, not the weight. If I were backpacking, if this were significantly heavier, I would say it's a big deal, but it's not. When we're talking, I used to try to be an ultralight backpacker. It's not my philosophy. I'm a backpacker, and so 25 pounds hiking is fine, as long as the weight is in the right places so that I can handle it. But when it's sitting too high and too big, and that's where the really problem comes in for me, that's when I start worrying about it. However, I'm 50-something years old, and I'm doing more and more motorcycle biking and more backpacking again as I have time in my older years. And I spent money for the big Agnes stool. And the stool is much smaller. It's 12 inches long. It's about 3 inches wide. It does weigh less. That wasn't a concern of mine, but this is it. What makes it work is that there's right here, if I were to take this off, this actually splits, and that lets it fold down really small, and you lose the back of the chair. And is that going to be comfortable? Well, I can tell you, you use the wide part towards your legs. This is as comfortable, as far as the butt part goes, it's more comfortable than the tall chairs. It doesn't have, I can't recline on it, but for going camping, sitting at the fire and everything else, let me tell you why this is great for bike packing, because it's about 15 inches up, and you got to go in the morning and put all those boots on, and I've got those Forma Evo Terras, and you got to get all set up. I don't want to be 2 inches off the ground. I want to actually sit like a real chair. And so this works for me, and it actually is really good. Now, is there any downside to it? Well, yeah, there is. Unlike the $20 chair that I just threw over there, I can get a little more wiggle room this way. And while I'm not too worried about this, I think that if I were being an idiot, I could do something to break it. It's not indestructible. But like I said, it packs up 12 inches, and that bike packing gear that's getting down to that 12-inch mark makes it easy to put everything and fit more stuff that you need in smaller spaces. I'm not a big one for hard panniers. I do have a Moto that does have hard panniers. It came with it. I never would have purchased it. And you know, it has its place for grocery shopping. I mean, let's be realistic, that V85 TT, that's my Escalade. It says it's an adventure bike, but I'm never gonna let it see dirt. So my DR650, I've got a giant loop cactus bag. This stuff is great. It'll fit all on it. It'll keep it close to the bike, keep the weight low. And therefore, when I'm riding, I don't have to worry about hitting things, and I don't have to worry about shifting weight or adjusting for the weight difference that's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 15 inches out from my bike with those the GS 1250s or my Moto Guzzi. They're really far out, and so if you've got weight there, that's changing how you ride the bike, and I just don't like that. So I'm not worried about weight as much. I'm worried about size, and I think this thing for $100-ish, wait till it's on sale. I think Labor Day is coming up. I think that this is a winner, and so there are some options for the bike packing thing. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but as we're getting older, sometimes you want to splurge for the good stuff, and so this is one of my splurges, and I'm glad I did it.